Alright guys, some quick thoughts on the Corsair M75 Air Wireless versus the Logitech G Pro Wireless Superlight 2. So first thing you may notice when looking at these mice is the color. So the M75 from Corsair, they say it's white, but you can see it's actually not totally white. The Logitech is more of a pure white. So just something to keep in mind if you end up caring about that kind of stuff. Alright, so on to the actual performance. So sensor on both of these mice is flawless, so nothing really to note there. Let's look at the clicks in the sound test. So on the Logitech G Pro Superlight 2, these clicks are definitely a lot louder than the Corsair, so let's listen. Now the Corsair. I don't know if that really comes through on camera, but definitely the Logitech is louder. So if you're in an office environment, I would say you probably cannot get away with using the Logitech very comfortably. People around you will probably get annoyed, but the Corsair, it's also still kind of loud, but it's more, it's better. I guess it's more quiet. So this you could probably use in a office environment. Okay, side buttons, I wanted to point this out. They don't feel as high quality on the Corsair as they do on the Logitech. So what I mean specifically is if you kind of pull your thumb away from the button on the Corsair, you see it kind of the buttons kind of stick to your thumb, kind of makes the mouse feel a little bit cheap, whereas on the Logitech, doesn't happen, as you can see. So the build quality overall, I would just say feels a lot just more solid on the Logitech. Also the clicks on the Corsair, they're a little bit more mushy. They're not quite as tactile as they are in the Logitech. So that's just one thing to consider. The color, that's totally personal preference. Personally on the Corsair, I'm not a huge fan of the yellow scroll wheel. It doesn't seem to really match the vibe. I think it would have been cooler if it would have been just a pure white or pure black, but that's just me. Okay, underneath the mice, let's look at the feet. So on both of these mice, they're pretty bad, honestly. The Logitech makes more noise when you drag it around the mouse mat. So if we listen, okay, and then the Corsair is more silent. So that's one thing to note, but the actual friction between both of them, I'd say, is probably equal, but because this one is more silent, the Corsair is more silent, I think it feels like just in your head, it might seem like it's less rolling, or not rolling, but sliding resistance. While we're back here on the bottom of the mice, one thing to know is that the Corsair does have Bluetooth. So if you just push this button here, you activate Bluetooth mode, and then you are able to use the mouse without the wireless receiver. And the Corsair does have onboard memory storage, so you can configure your macros in Corsair IQ and then save those onboard the device itself, and that will be available to use in Bluetooth mode. The Logitech does not have that. I wish they did, but they don't. Okay, so then lastly, just the shape. So the Corsair is definitely bigger than the Logitech. As you can see, there's just more of a hump in the back. There's more bulk in the back with the Corsair. So if you are doing like pure fingertip grip, then the Logitech is definitely better. But if you want to do fingertip and then maybe sometimes, you could grip it with the palm, that could also work on the Corsair too. So I think the Corsair works for both, but I think the Logitech is definitely the winner for fingertip grip. If you don't really care about fingertip grip, or you don't really have a strong preference and you're doing fingertip and palm, claw, whatever, I think the Corsair kind of fits most categories. So there's that, but if you do strictly do fingertip, I think you're going to feel that extra bulk in the back, and that might drive you kind of crazy on the Corsair. Having said that, the weight distribution on the Corsair is pretty much even throughout, so you're not like going to experience a lot of weight in the back. It's just kind of the space that it takes up. You probably will sense that. So the Logitech just feels a little more nimble. But they're both really solid mice. And so which one should you get? Well, I'd say if you like fingertip grip, definitely go for the Logitech. But if you're in an office environment, I'd say the Corsair is probably the easy option because it's quieter, regardless of if you like fingertip grip or not. I think if you're in an office environment, you'll have to go with the Corsair. And then regarding the price, that's also an issue too. So the Logitech retails for about $160, which is pretty expensive, although you can usually find it on sale for like $140-ish. The Corsair retails for $100, but it's on sale right now for $70. And if you look on Amazon, you can usually find it used for even cheaper than that. So, I think if budget is a big concern, I think you're not really sacrificing much with the Corsair. Just a little bit of build quality. But other than that, performance-wise, they're pretty much the same in my opinion. But if you really care about build quality and you want the best of the best and the budget's not the problem, then I'd say Logitech is probably better for you. But again, guys, both really, really awesome mice and you really can't go wrong with either. This is just a quick comparison. Thanks for watching.